Yep, that's right. We have upgraded. I've been officially apple pied.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
What? No, I can't say apple pied. I've been appleized. Yeah, that's better. Apple pied, that's not. Let's just ignore that word and we'll carry on. You're probably thinking, why have I done that? And mostly because I'll be taking content creation to a whole new level. So you're probably wondering where I've been for the past year or so. Well, I've been working, and I've been working. But to be honest, I've also been working on some like really big exciting projects in the background. So yeah. But before we jump into what kind of projects and things I've been working on, I thought I'd give a quick intro about myself if you're new to the channel, and I'll walk you through like memory lane and how I got started and stuff. My name is Kareem. I live in the UK, known to be one of the most depressing places on earth, apparently. To some extent, actually, I do agree with that. I have to, yeah. Oh, and of course, we have lovely crime rates here that are welcome to everyone who visits. So, memory lane. I'm going to dedicate most of this video talking about what I've done, what I've been through, and how I've got to where I am today. So let's go back to the very beginning. It's 2018. It's raining. I don't know why I'm smashing the table, but I am, because I remember how hard those times are. I finished uni and I was completely broke living on my parents. Oh, and on top of that, COVID had just hit. No one was hiring. The world itself had just froze, and I had given up on applying for jobs because no one was applying anymore, and I was applying for literally anything. I didn't care if it was to do with my degree or not to do with my degree. And for those wondering, I studied architecture. Yep, 6 years out of my life just do architecture. Did I work in it? No. So I took a different approach and started searching for different ways to make money online. I started consuming a lot of content like there was no tomorrow. And I'm sure you guys have been there, right? But I remember I got just so damn addicted to it. I felt like a hub just storing knowledge. But I quickly came to notice that most of these big entrepreneurs, or gurus, shall I say, were selling all these different courses, and offered the dream. They were really good at selling this dream, don't get me wrong. You're barely paying anything and it's like $5,000. That's it. It's a one-time payment. And then before you know it, you buy your parents' dream home, you can buy your dream car. And I'm like, that sounds like the dream I want. And yes, I would love to sort of pay off my parents' stuff and help my family, buy the car I want. Money does solve a lot of things if it's used the right way. But these gurus, man, like they were so good at marketing it as well. Like they made it seem like if you bought it, you're set for life. That's it. And not just set for your life, like for generations to come. That's it. You've made it. You don't have to look back anymore. And I'm like, I'm in. Like, yeah, okay, let's do it. Only issue was though, is I couldn't afford them. And some of them were a bit too expensive. We're talking about in the thousands, I had to find a way to make money online without spending any money. I had no capital. I was broke, but I was determined to get my hands on some of these courses. I was like, this is the way forward. So I began searching up, the most common line on the internet, and it was something along the lines of, ways to make money online for free in 2018. And eventually I came across an article with a few videos around this guy, and he was making something around $10,000 to $15,000 every month by building and selling Instagram theme pages. Back then, they're really easy to do and not many people are in it. But yeah, he had these small guides which showed you how to get started. It didn't really have any sort of fancy strategies or anything, or techniques on how you can grow quickly. I guess he saved them for those who purchased his course. But I felt like the basic methods he put out there, like writing up decent hooks, the kind of video editing style you should be using on Instagram, what kind of clips and stuff sort of work. I felt like that kind of advice and the free information he had out there was just enough to get you started. Seeing that I didn't have any kind of money to spend on courses and stuff, I was like, you know what? I don't mind going through a bit of trial and error. Like this is why I start learning and gaining experience. But to be fair, that's when it clicked for me as well. I thought to myself, I'm technically already ahead of the game. As most of you probably don't know, I used to be a YouTuber back in the day. I didn't show my face or anything. It was more of a gaming channel, playing a game called RuneScape, and I was the first person to sort of introduce COD-like editing, but with RuneScape videos. So I thought, look, I've already got the experience. This should work for me. Like I've got no excuse. I'm sure I'm going to do really well. I got super motivated and I got right into it. I began making these Instagram theme pages, and I think, if I recall, my first two failed. And it's because I focused too much on creating fresh new content. Yeah, that was my biggest mistake. I spent way too much time creating content that I thought was good for me, which is like, I love doing these over edited style kind of contents because that's what I was good at. And I thought, well, if it worked on YouTube, it's going to work on Instagram. But that's not the case. It's a completely different theme. And back then, looking at it, that's when I should have just realized I should have just focused on what was already working for others and just add my own mix to it, but without the whole over editing piece. You could say I was trying to be Mr. Unique. You don't want to be too unique, especially when you don't have any followers and views. That was my biggest mistake. mistake. You can do that later on when you've got your own fan base, a follower base. You can start to experiment and add your own ideas. But when you're starting out, the best way forward is to sort of use what's working for other people, but you add your own mix. You know, I'm not saying copy and paste. You know, you can just get ideas from what has worked with others. You know, if it's maybe writing a similar hook or a similar style of content, and then do it in your own way for your own niche, you're most likely able to sort of gain the same traction they have. And also learn that who is it you're making a video for? Who is your customer? Who is your audience? Who's the person you're talking to? Put yourself in their shoes. Once I did that, everything changed for me. But before, I had no idea who I was talking to. I was just making videos. I was like, I've got no idea. I'm just being me. Once I learned all of those things, my third one finally did well, and I grew it to around 35,000 to 40,000 followers I gained with my third Instagram account, and then I sold it for like a mere $500 or $600. Yeah, it's only that much. Back then, that's how much these accounts were. I don't know what today's figures are, but I then used half that money to buy another Instagram account that already had like 10k active followers. And then I was able to sort of grow that faster and sell it for more money. I spent like 6 months or 7 months on it, and I got it to like 150k followers, and I sold it for a whopping like $4,000. And I had it all my PayPal, and I was like the happiest person ever. I did all of that for around probably a year. I made just under $10,000 with the Instagram flipping account stuff. I was also making a bit of extra money on the side on top of that with Fiverr and Upwork. So I made ads for dropshipping stores, and I also edited reels for Instagram and TikTok pages and stuff. It was mostly all short form content. I think it was newly introduced back in like 2020 or something. But overall, from Fiverr and Upwork, I'd say I probably made an extra few $1,000s, probably $2,000 to $3,000 at most. I personally remember I didn't get that many customers. I was not active on it. There were so many business opportunities I missed, but it's because I was so busy like building theme pages and stuff in the background. I felt like so many people were like either copying my, Fiverr or Upwork gig, but a lot of people were jumping onto it. Like every editor out there was on there. So I got left behind quite quickly as well. But yeah, mostly I did see some success with my Instagram editing gig on Fiverr. That done quite well for me. I had several long-term clients that kept on coming back to me. I remember I helped them grow their Instagram pages to like thousands and thousands of followers. I even had a few mentioned to me, right? And the thing is, I wouldn't understand this. I just thought, oh, it's because he's got a really good business model or something, right? I wish I saw this differently. I helped them double their monthly recurring revenue, and they gained many clients through their services due to their, growing online presence that I helped out with. As I said before, like I generally thought this is because they just have a good business model. They've got a really good product. That's it. That's what I thought. And honestly, thinking about it back then, if it was me and I had all this knowledge, I would have just sort of made my very own page back then instead of being an editor for others. If I knew just a bit more about marketing back then, goodness me, man, I would be... Yep, all right, there's no point procrastinating about the past. No, we're not going to do that. I should be very grateful for where I am today. So I'm not going to sit here and dwell about the past. That's done and dusted. Anyways, I had accumulated a total of around $14,000 that year. It was tough. I spent days just planted in my room, grinding away, growing these theme pages and editing for others. It was real tough, but I did it. And to be fair, thinking about it back then, I was over the moon. Like I was able to actually make some money online without putting any kind of upfront investment or capital. I remember I would just like look at my account over and over again. I would just scroll right on my phone, and I would just be like looking at my account balance. So it was a wonderful feeling back then. The fact I was able to make some kind of money with this like broken ass computer. But remember, the reason I learned to make money online was because I wanted to buy these courses and mentorships that I had researched about at the beginning. So now that I had a bit of money, I purchased my first dropshipping course, and it sort of had Facebook ad strategies behind it as well. The course itself I think was probably around $1,000 at the time, and I had to put like $2,000 to $3,000 aside to test products. I remember this guru was like, you need to put a couple of $1,000s aside, you can test like 20 products. And guess what? I failed. Yeah. I failed. Of course I failed. I failed at pretty much all the products I tested. I think overall I did test a bit more than 20, and it costed me overall like $5,000 the whole thing. So I just sort of left that community. So I thought, all right, courses may not work for me. It looks like too many people are jumping onto them, or maybe it's just outdated, right? I need someone to give me real-time information, someone to be behind me and actually tell me what I'm doing wrong or what I can do right, and just point me in the right direction. So I thought the next step was to purchase a mentorship program. And I will tell you who I joined up. I joined with Michael Bernstein. He's a known guru, and his mentorship program cost me probably around $4,000 to $5,000 as well. Upon joining his program, I quickly went through his course, which was very similar to the first one I purchased. Like all these courses, they're so similar in terms of the kind of content they put on there. Maybe the strategies are a bit different. The Facebook and the social media strategies they use wherever you're going to be advertising, the ad strategies are a bit different, but the overall content, believe me, is like actually the same, and you can find it online. But that wasn't the issue, and I didn't join for the course. Like I already had the theory and the knowledge there with me. I wasn't about that. But I noticed I never got to speak to Michael Bernstein himself. I never got to speak to him. I paid all this money. I was like, I can't even get one call with the guy. I never got to interact with him on any calls, meetings. All my regular catch-up calls and meetings were with his peers or his team, which already put me off in a way. While I was talking to his team, I know they're super busy, but they were just so like ready to move on to the next call. You can tell it's rushed. Like you feel bad to ask more questions on your product or whatever you're trying to do at your store. So because of that, I just feel like I wasn't getting the attention I wanted or needed to grow. At least with this mentorship, I always had to like book a few days in advance to get in calls with them. And you guys know with dropshipping, time is precious. Like you had to be quick with testing products, launching stores. You had to be really quick and snappy. And I felt like just because I'm waiting 3-4 days just to get a review from this person or this guy who's literally going to just give me a bit of information for 5 minutes and then go, I didn't feel like it was worth it. But to be fair, I did still manage to test probably around several more products as well. I think I tested a total of like 5 to 10 products on that mentorship. A few of them did have break even, but most of them just did put me at a loss. Unfortunately, I lost all my money I made from Instagram flipping. 1 year of hard work, yeah, all gone. I had around probably a few $100s left on my account. And I remember at that point I got really low. I was just down, I got depressed. I felt like I'm the biggest failure in the world. I didn't want to tell my family because I kept on telling them like, don't worry, I'm going to make this. I'm going to be different and stuff. I kept on telling them that. And I can tell they were starting to doubt me, and it was just such a horrible feeling. I've been telling them for the past year, like, don't worry, look, it's going to work. I made a bit of money. The next one is just going to be this big investment that's going to make millions. The reason why I'm smiling is because I remember my parents' faces when I came down to them with bad news. They're like, oh, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to apply for a job now. And they're like, oh, we told you. And I was like, of course you did. Yeah, good times, good times. But yes, I do blame myself for that. What did I expect? It wasn't going to be easy, right? If it was that easy, everyone would do it. It's not that hard to jump right in and just be dedicated for a couple of months. It's not that hard. Anyone can do it. But can you be consistent with it and fail time and time again? Not many people are willing to fail time and time again. They think, no, this is not going to work. It's difficult. Don't get me wrong. Imagine failing and you're wasting money and you're losing all this time and you're doing it day in, day out. Yeah, it becomes exhausting to the point where like, well, at least in a job, if I fail or not fail, I'm still getting a paycheck at the end of the month. With this stuff, you don't get a paycheck and all your money's gone. So I sort of understand why, where others are coming from, but I was like, I didn't care. The 9 to 5 life is, for some reason, it just doesn't work with me. I'm willing to fail time and time again for the next 10 years if it takes. Then I'll give up. I'll give myself 10 years. I was like, 10 years. If I don't make it, I'll give up. Anyways, let's not digress into, the future. A few months had passed and the world started opening up again. Everyone had to wear masks and there were certain rules, like you had to queue up for stores and all that rubbish. People were starting to go out. You were actually allowed outside again and things were starting to get back to normal. So I was able to grab myself a part-time job just to sustain myself for the time being. And after taking a few short months off from the online world, I had recouped a small amount of money again and soon later was able to secure a full-time job as well. But even though, I had a full-time job and I was doing okay again, I didn't want to get trapped into that box. I didn't want to get trapped into that system. I was still on a mission to find a stable stream of income online. I was still determined to create something for myself, something of myself using the online world. It was my dream, my absolute dream. I could like literally taste it. I would never stop thinking about it. Even my 9 to 5, every minute was used just so I can dream and think about, how I'm going to create this next big online business online and have my own freedom. I literally wanted to be my own boss. That was the dream, just being your own boss. You wake up and you do the work on your own terms and your own pace. That was the dream. It was a nightmare. Like I would sleep thinking about, how to make money online. Wake up, think about it. Consume content. Eat breakfast, go gym, consume content. Like it was in my mind 24/7. That's all I ever thought about. So what did I do? I went back to the drawing board and I started searching for other methods of making money online again without any upfront investment, because that's what made me money first. Actually, I already had a proven method of making money, but I wanted something a bit more passive instead of exchanging my time for money. I learned the difference between time and money. So the Instagram flipping stuff, I had to put the work in, I had to put hours in to grow the Instagram account and then sell it. I wanted something where even if I sleep, I can still make money. Even if I sleep or I'm not home or I'm not technically giving my time, I'm still able to generate money. And that was the dream. That's what I wanted for myself. I finally landed on the TikTok creativity program. It was similar to the Instagram flipping stuff, but you're not selling an account here. Just to talk about how this works, if your video gets 1 million views and you sign up with this program, depending on how high your RPM is, RPM pretty much dictates how much TikTok would pay you per 1,000 views. You know, the higher your RPM was, the more money you would be getting paid. It was so easy to go viral on TikTok. Back then, not many people were doing it. It was plain easy to go viral on TikTok. Just simply upload a funny clip, a controversial question, or an interesting debate from a well-known YouTuber or an influencer, you get millions of views. The trick was to take advantage of TikTok's algorithm by making users stay on your video and watch it the whole way through without having them scroll off. You know, and there were techniques to keep viewers hooked and engaged with the video. And I'm sure you guys have seen examples of this, you know, where they put clips on the bottom or, you know, something interacting and that keeps you hooked onto the video. So that was quite successful and it worked for me. And I was able to utilize my knowledge and skills from, you know, growing Instagram theme pages as well. I'll probably say at most that probably made me $1,000 to $2,000 per month, but it did get harder as more people started doing it. It became a race to find, you know, the next best clips and monetize on it. So I eventually gave that up, seeing, you know, there's a wave of people trying to do this as well. And like, I didn't have time to watch every stream, every YouTuber, stay updated with this and that influencer, just so you can take clips from what they said or what they have or whatever, and then upload it onto TikTok for views. Like, I just felt like that's not a way to make money anymore. So I eventually gave that up and I tried to look for something else that doesn't require marketing, but it can still make you money passively. So I was trying to really narrow what I wanted. I was like, look, I've tried A, I've tried B now. And that's when I came across Amazon to eBay dropshipping. And also just to explain how this one works. Well, first of all, you need an eBay store. You list an item from Amazon onto your eBay store and you add like a 30% markup to sell it. Now, yes, I know what you're thinking. Hold back, wait. Why don't people just go buy from Amazon? Well, look, there's multiple reasons why, but I'll give you just one of them, right? Here's a secret. First of all, not everyone has Amazon Prime, meaning sometimes they have to pay probably $4 to $5. I'm in the UK, £4 to £5 for delivery, depending on the item. So people jumped on eBay because naturally no one's going to put, you know, delivery. Well, for most things, or most items, no one's going to put delivery. So that was just one of my discoveries to why people didn't just shop with Amazon. There's many reasons more as well, but I'll keep those for myself, or a course I might do later in the future. But yeah, after all the eBay fees and stuff, I used to probably make around 15 to 20% at most profit per item sold. And yes, this was a low profit margin business, but it actually worked. I was gobsmacked at first. You know, I would upload products and then a couple of days after that, it was just getting sold. I didn't have to do any other work apart from just uploading the product and then just fulfill them on Amazon. And the way I fulfilled them, I used it's like a middleman software called AutoDS, and it does all the backend stuff for you. So it can order for you and all that stuff. But yeah, I would list items during the day, sleep, and just find sales when I wake up. Technically making money while I was sleeping. I finally hit the jackpot. So, you know, I got really into it. I put all my time and effort into it. I just did this one sole thing. That's it. So I started loading more and more items onto my store. I then had to transition to a business account so I don't get banned. But then, yeah, I started, you know, researching trends and top selling items from seasonal products to like evergreen products. You know, I did literally the whole lot. And before you know it, I went from like making $100 a month to like $1,000 a month to $5,000 to $6,000 to $7,000 to $8,000. Yeah, we progressed, you know, and several months down the line, I managed to hit my first 10K. You know, I started off with one store and now I have like 6 or 7 in total in different countries. When I saw my first 10K month, right, profit, like that's after fees, after everything, after taxes. Yes, I cried. I remember that moment very clearly. I quit my job and I cried. Yeah, I remember just laying there on the floor and looking at the ceiling, and I started realizing it's all real. Like shit, after years of, you know, procrastinating and going back and forth and literally battling the demons on my head telling me that, you know, you can't make it online and it's just all false. I started imagining what I could do, you know, where I could travel, moving out, which I have done, by the way. I live in a nice apartment quite close to London. I've got a decent car for myself that I love, soon to be upgraded as well. Honestly, I went crazy for a while. Like, I still go crazy. I'm married now, but every other month, me and my wife just head over to UAE in business class too. Like, we rent the nicest cars there. To be fair, my wife doesn't really let me rent any car I want because her dream car is literally the G-Class, and I'm not going to buy one in the UK because they're £200,000 and I don't want to risk it getting stolen and stuff. Plus, I want to be able to bear it if she scratches the wheels. So we'll rent it as long as it's not mine, but you know, I don't want that kind of responsibility on my head. Plus, I can't afford a 200k car. But yeah, at the end of the day, I could book and go wherever I want, whenever I want. A luxury I never ever thought I'd have. The weather gets lousy here in the UK. I'll just look at my wife like, you ready? Do you want to go somewhere? Where do you want to go? Turkey, Dubai? It's anywhere that's hot and it's got nice weather and it's safe as well. well, safe. Overall, look, it's a beautiful feeling and it's a beautiful luxury to have, you know, to be free and just do whatever you want. I don't want to be this like super, super rich guy, no, but if I can make myself comfortable, make my friends, family, and everyone around me not comfortable, but somewhat, I'm able to give them a bit of support. Like, that is beautiful. Anyway, I think we've reached the end of the memory lane here, or we've reached the present day, which is where I am now. Now, my next step is to share with you guys how I was able to do it. Hence why I shared every detail on how and where I got started from. And honestly, I'm going to say this, my biggest regret with everything I've done in this journey was not documenting the whole thing step by step, everything I did from the very beginning till now. That's been my biggest mistake. I really, really do wish have like a secret camera recorder somewhere, just, you know, recording everything I've been doing. Actually, no, not everything. I guess I missed a big opportunity there, right? Like, I would have had my own brand, my own name on YouTube already, and social media. That I've always wanted to have something in the background for myself with YouTube. I'm pretty much starting from scratch with YouTube, and I'm going to be pumping a lot of videos out onto this platform. It's better late than never. And I'm going to be documenting everything now going forward. Wherever I travel, I'll be taking you guys with me. What I'm working on, what I've done so far, you know, how I manage my eBay stores as well. I'll even show you a few techniques. My Instagram page, which I'm literally starting from scratch. I've literally only got 11 followers. I posted 11 videos and I've got 11 followers. So if you want to follow me on Instagram and see how I am promoting my business there, so I'm promoting how you can grow your Instagram pages and all that good stuff on there. If you want to learn for free and just see how I'm doing that from the get-go before I burst with followers, go jump onto my Instagram now. It's literally Kareem here _up. I might change the name later on. I don't know. It's a random name. And look, honestly, if I were you guys, jump on there as quickly as you can. Like, you will learn a lot of stuff. As I said, I've already begun establishing myself on Instagram. So if you want to learn how I'm trying to grow on there, I've literally only got like a couple of followers. And DM me, message me whenever you want. Like, I know a few people from my YouTube already messaged me on Instagram. You know, message me, DM me, and I will answer any question you have. I'm more than happy to talk. If I've got time, I'll talk to you. No, I've got no problem. I'll answer any questions from everyone. So yeah, just reach out to me on Instagram and we can chat on there. Before we end it off, I'll just talk about my plan. My plan is to expand my reach on social media and build a name for myself with YouTube, you know, Instagram and all these social media platforms, even TikTok I'm going to start on. You know, my next set of videos will solely be about how you could go about making money on Instagram and eBay, my two prime sources of income pretty much. So I'm sure this will help a lot of people out. To be fair, if this video gets 100 likes, I'll post a day in a life video or something ahead of all my other upcoming videos. That'll be quite interesting. I'll show you what my day-to-day looks like. So me getting to the car, going gym, you know, making breakfast, showing you around the apartment, all the good stuff. So you'll get to know me on a more personal level. That's all I'm asking for, 100 likes. And, you know, even if I don't get 100 likes, I'm going to still be uploading a lot of videos. But 100 likes and I'll upload that special day in the life video. But that's it for this video. Leave a thumbs up, and I'm planning to release probably 2 to 3 videos a week. So yep, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.